Hey, Scott Austin here, and in this video I'm going to walk you through the new store build that I did for State of Ethos. State of Ethos is a new store, new brand. We built it in Shopify using the Flex theme, and they're a lifestyle brand. So they are generating an audience and a following around their motocross enthusiasts, which they have tons of on the site. You know, all these people are actual motocross people. They live in the Temecula area in Southern California, and they do really cool things. Like you saw a second ago, the guy doing a wheelie, and they're doing backflips in the air, and just really cool stuff. So as a lifestyle brand, what they're doing is they're building lots of content around motocross and motorcycles, and that gets them a following and an audience, and then the products they're selling are branded, like you can see here, the hoodie and the different products up here, different branded elements with their brand on it. And they did a really good job in creating content to be able to launch the store. So here in the content section, all right, so we got one link up here for shop, right? And normally for a Shopify store, all these links in the main nav would be shopping. But because they're a lifestyle brand that is heavy on content, we actually put a lot of content up here too. So we have a TV page, which is they're creating TV episodes, even though they're online, they're calling them TV episodes. They also have film, which is another video format that they're doing, and then galleries of photos, and then journal, which is articles, like a normal blog article would be. And then they've got a nice little about section here, and you can see they definitely had a brand in mind as we're building out the store. They defined their brand before we built the store, which made things really easy, right? They defined the logo, the font styles that we're going to use, and the colors, and they use that throughout their imagery, and then I used it in the CSS for building out the store. And having because they had such a strong sense of brand, it made it easy to actually implement that inside the store. The more brand documentation a brand has, it actually makes my job easier to build out the store for them. So let's look at the content pages first. So this is a blog page, right? Not an article page. Each one of these is an article. So this is the top level blog page. What we did on this one here is we made it playable. The video is playable right inside of the blog page. So this isn't even in the article; it's in the blog. We got a video going on. So that's a bit of custom work there to make that happen. But it's really nice because it automatically. This is video number 3. This is TV show number 2 and TV show number 1. And when they add TV show number 4, it'll automatically populate up here, and then 3 will move down on the list and all that kind of stuff. So people, when they want to see the latest TV article or the TV episode, they just go to the TV page and they don't have to click beyond here. They can, right here, they're in there and watching it. And for video, because there's a lot of video on the site, we did a mix of YouTube hosted and HTML5 hosted, because HTML5 video doesn't have any of the YouTube frame in it, so we have a little more control around it. But HTML5 video hosted on Shopify, we have a 20 megabyte limit. So any videos we get down less than 20 megabytes, we did through HTML5, and greater than 20 megabytes we hosted in YouTube. And if we go to an article page, we still have the same, that image is just incredible, right? When you have content like that, it's just absolutely amazingly fun to make a store when you have content like that to create it from. But here we have the same, full width video, and then they go right into it and play it from there. And then we're also, cross promoting the other articles and that kind of stuff. So back to our top level TV page, it's all laid out like we're talking about. And now you'll notice here, right? We've got, for the text, we're using excerpts, and then we're also, because there's 2 types of text in an article. There's an excerpt and the actual article content, and we are using them, quite well, I think, having, short versions and then long versions we get into the article page. So let's move on to film. It's very similar, but you'll notice they've got a different aspect ratio for the cover images there, just to differentiate between TV and film. Stylistically, they're doing them very differently, and that's part of their brand being so well defined that they can do those kind of things. But this page behaves very similar to the TV page. It's just a different type of content for them. Now on Gallery, we actually built this as a page, not as a blog. And because we're using the Flex theme, each one of these is using its own template. We actually made a little bit of a custom template for this one because the gallery inside of Shopify, it's got a good horizontal masonry. It's got a nice vertical masonry element, but we actually named this one gallery.lego because what we did is I'm allowing the store staff to, when they go and edit this, they can say, well, I want this one image, right? Because when you do a horizontal masonry, the JavaScript is determining how many images it's going to show. You know, like if you say I want a total of 4, sometimes it'll show 3, sometimes it'll show 4, sometimes it'll show 5 in a row based on the math that's going on in the JavaScript. So what we did here is we allow the store staff to say, well, I want this image to be 1 image wide, right? And I want this one to be 2 wide, and this one to be 1 wide, and this one to be 3 wide. So I created blocks for them, and they're just called 1 wide, 2 wide, and 3 wide. And that way they're in control, complete control of how their images lay out. Now you may notice like this image here is very portrait and not the best experience on landscape. But what we did here is we did optimize and do a mobile first design, right? So we really thought about the mobile experience first and made the desktop experience not bad, but we focused on the mobile experience first, which is why there's a lot of very landscape imagery going on here, which may be even a little bit too tall for desktop, but is absolutely stunning on mobile. Like, this is just incredible looking, much better looking at this on mobile than it is on desktop, even though on desktop it's quite compelling also. Let's go back to our desktop view there because it's easier to review it. So each one of these galleries, they have a multiple of them right now. All use that same template functionality, which gives them the control they're looking for, right? And once again, just tons and tons of great images. Whether they're images or they're film, lots of fantastic stuff going on. The dirt flying in the air, that's just absolutely fabulous. And each one of these, is nice because if we click on them, we get the gallery full view, and we can scroll through all the images that way. So let's go back to the next section here of content, which is the journal. And these are more traditional blogs where they've got text, copy, and photos. So we're just alternating between those and using the normal article layout to make that all happen. So lots of really good content, and it's all built in such a way that they can continue to add more content, and it just displays dynamically and all that. So let's go to the shop page because I call this a very bold collection page. When they first showed it to me, their mock-up, I was like, no way. But I really love it, and it's just so bold because there's no product name, there's no product price, and what they did was a really good job in building hype around the brand and excitement. So when they launched the store, customers were much more excited than I thought they were going to be. And they just were diving in and buying products kind of thing. And because this is such a simple or bold or audacious collection page, it just to me just supports the brand they're going after. And the simplicity of it all is really beautiful. Now some people may look at this and go, oh, you're using transparent PNGs with this colored background, and I actually don't do that. So what I do here is I know the color of the background of the page, right? So then I take the transparent PNGs for these images and actually put a same colored background as the background of the page into it and save it as a JPEG. So the file sizes are much, much smaller than if I had transparent PNGs on here. So even though it's got that transparent PNG effect, I'm actually using JPEGs with a color background. Let me just show you one. Where is open image in new tab? So there's that image with the color background in it. And let's go into a product. And you notice the strong colors that they've got going on here. Their colors of their products are also the colors of the brand. They've got, I don't know, kind of like a 1970s feel of color palette, and a lot of their content has a 1970s feel to it also. But we took that coloring and we're really strong with it everywhere, right? So even the share buttons, I changed the SVG styling behind them to match the brand instead of the blue Twitter and blue Facebook and red Pinterest icons that come with the theme by default. And even the hover and click effects or active effects are the colors of the brand. And even they're so strong in their coloring, they didn't use just a standard white background. This is a little bit of an off-white background, which has this nice feel and finish to it in my mind. Now on their product pages, even though this is a limited run of products for them, they did a great job in creating lots of great product photography. And they even did product videos. Now this is HTML5 video loaded into the product carousel. Works quite well, right? And the autoplay is working on most browsers. Like iOS, it doesn't work because iOS doesn't allow autoplay. But lots of good imagery going on here in their product, which is absolutely wonderful. And then they also have, photos. This is a lifestyle photo. If we click on it, it becomes a lifestyle video. This is HTML5 video. So we got this under 20 megs, and each one is like 10 to 12 seconds long kind of thing, just to get more of that feel around the clothing and the brand. We got this on a lot of the products, which is really, really nice. And their product catalog, it's a limited catalog, so it's a limited run. So when they sell out of them, they'll do another collection coming up soon when these are all sold out. And then we also have the ability, we have this technical wear, which in motorcycles means jerseys and pants that you would wear on your motorcycle. But this we password protected, so only certain people right now have access to that, and that's password protected at the collection page level and also at the product page level. So let's go to the home page, because we've got lots of things going on here on the home page. Lots of good elements because they have such good content, and all of it's really responsive. So here, this is a collection slider. And the interesting, unique thing about this one is they wanted to use images here that are not in the product carousel, right? So I had to create a little custom section using some of the flex as the starting point. But these values for these photos are actually stored in meta fields instead of in the collection carousel. So the store staff can go in and edit the meta field values and add the images or change the images out. Now this one here is just a link to the collection, but they decided to do it with a HTML5 video, and this video is auto playing. And like I said, it auto plays on most devices except for like iOS, because iOS doesn't support that. And with autoplay, we are not in control of whether the browser is going to autoplay it or not. We can say we want you to autoplay it, but the client settings and the browser settings are going to dictate if that actually happens. And then for each of the content types of TV, film, gallery, and journal, we have a homepage element, and each one of them takes a little bit of a different layout for them. And look at that photo there. This guy's in the air, like on this cliff. That's just insane photography, right? I absolutely loved working on this site because I would just get drawn in by the photography and the videos. And they also had a lookbook, which takes them to another gallery, very focused on the collection they're selling. And then here's another auto-playing video, and this one is off to their film. And then we also have an Instagram feed, because of course they have an Instagram following, because they have so much good content. Instagram is an absolute natural for them. And here we have a Klaviyo for email signup. And in this one, we're actually collecting email addresses and phone numbers. And people were submitting phone numbers. We actually sent SMSs out when we launched the site, and people were clicking on them and going to the site. So it's really good to see the strategy of collecting emails or phones, whatever customers wanted, especially because of this audience is younger and much more mobile focused. Having that capability really paid off in building their list and having more people to send to in their list. And then we've got the standard policies, and then also here on the Contact Us, which got a Contact Us page with the branding in it, and the map that shows hey, they are actually in Southern California, giving that street cred. They're saying they're in Southern California, so we should show that they're actually in Southern California. And that is the State of Ethos website. It's a really fun one. I encourage you to check it out. Thanks for watching.